I'm Max Dunn from Silicon Publishing, and I'll be talking about InDesign and DAM software. I'll cover these three short topics. What is a DAM? How does InDesign talk to DAMs? And the amazing demo. Well, what is a DAM? I don't mean the Hoover Dam. In our world, where acronyms reign supreme, DAM stands for Digital Asset Management. But what does a DAM really mean to us? According to Teresa Regley, the management of digital media throughout its lifetime is the general domain of digital asset management. For Teresa and experts like her, people who live and breathe this technology, a real DAM must do 10 crucial things. It must ingest assets, secure assets with access control levels, store assets as well as their metadata, transform assets, for example by making thumbnail renditions, enrich assets, typically by adding metadata, relate those assets, for example by having multiple versions of a single asset, process assets, supporting review and approval workflows, search for and find assets, preview assets, and finally, publish assets, including sharing and linking. Really, there's a whole domain of knowledge around DAMs, and as the number of assets in our world explodes, DAM software is steadily growing in usage. Here are some of the leading DAMs. We're going to focus on just two of these DAMs today, which are at opposite ends of the spectrum. We'll look first at Adobe Experience Manager, which is for enterprises, and then at Canto Flight, a lightweight cloud DAM that is best for small workgroups. Sometimes those groups are just a single designer who uses Flight. This is Adobe Experience Manager, and as you can see, I can drill into collections of assets. I could also search. When I get to a single asset, I can look at versions, renditions, and annotations. Annotation is one form of metadata, and I can tell another user to make edits. AEM is very robust. You can even turn your images upside down. And if you have to ask how much it costs, well then you can't afford it. Here's Canto Flight. It also lets you select assets and do many things with them. You can upload new versions, you can add keywords, you can add revisions and review the revisions you already have, you can work with metadata in many forms, including comments, which are similar to annotations in AEM. So now you know what a DAM is, but the question remains, how does InDesign talk to DAMs? In a word, badly. When InDesign was invented, digital asset management meant using the local file system or in an enterprise, a shared network drive. Back then, the initial form of any DAM integration went through the file system. This resulted in three bad file system-based approaches that sadly remain with us to this day. You can download assets to your drive and link to what you've downloaded, but that means you now have extra copies of assets and you still have no reference to the asset in the DAM. Or you can, if the DAM supports it, synchronize your file system to the DAM. This pretty much defeats the purpose of a DAM in the first place, so it's not much of an option either. Or you could try technologies such as WebDAV and Adobe Drive, which impersonate the file system, but then behind the scenes they look at each asset and gradually try to find them in the DAM. These are notoriously slow. But there's a solution, and it involves utilizing the number one feature of InDesign. What is the number one feature of InDesign? To me, it's extensibility. By extending the base functionality of InDesign, you can enable URL-based linking, which lets InDesign talk directly to assets in the DAM. Therefore, you can keep your assets in a single place, and InDesign sees links correctly using DAM URLs, rather than searching through the file system for something that's actually located somewhere else. And now it's time for the amazing demo. I'm going to show two forms of InDesign extensibility that combine to make InDesign and DAMs play together like best friends. First, by using CC extensions, I can put the entire DAM interface right into Adobe InDesign. Here's Canto Flight. Second, through scripting and plugins, I can simply drag an asset from Canto Flight into InDesign to create a direct URL-based link. I'm going to upload a new version of the asset into Canto Flight through the user interface that was added by the CC extension. This UI provides literally all the functionality of Flight from right within InDesign. After the upload process is complete, InDesign alerts me through the Links panel that the asset is updated. I can double-click the Links panel to reference the latest version of the asset. Through extensibility, InDesign can interface with DAMs perfectly.